Hi, buddy. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I had physical difficulties and technical difficulties. I'm just in here minding my own business, editing away, and my daughter pops her head in and says, "Mom, is Ava in here?" I said, "Nope, she's outside." And she goes, "It's lightning really bad outside." And I'm like, "Oh, I better go get her because she's scared of lightning." Well, we were getting a major storm. There was tons of thunder, but it was that like low roll kind of thunder. So like it wasn't the big booms. I didn't hear it, but until I opened the door and it was pouring rain. Poor Ava had climbed underneath my handicap ramp at the lowest point lowest point that she could get her fat butt to take shelter. And Billy and Tiny Kitten Esquire were outside as well. They came running in. Ava wouldn't come up the ramp like she normally, you let her off the leash and she just bounds right up. Oh, no. She was like tied to Kendra, wouldn't go any faster than we would go. She's terrified of storms. And so the cats came back after a while of standing out in the rain calling for them. Get them back inside, and no more than they're back inside than they're already pulling on they've got a little hangy scratchy post, and that's their doorbell knocker basically. So yeah, I'm soaking wet. I had to change my shirt quick. Ava got soaking wet. She's still soaking wet, but I've given her plenty of treats and chew stuff to keep her calm. And then I go live and it says it can't access my mic or camera to close all programs. So I did. I closed all programs and it couldn't access them still. So I had to reboot. I'm here. I made it. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Shane. Good to see you. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Yes. Yep. Empty your bladder and then grab your hydration so you can fill it again. Perfect logical sense. We humans are a strange breed. Hello, Eileenie Carlin. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Yeah, she was. Yeah, that was the majority of the problem. Oh, yeah. It is a likely story. That's why my hair's back. It looks terrible when it's wet. Oh my gosh. But it also looks terrible when it's in a ponytail. I just can't look good tonight. Hello, Linda Applegate. I love you. Yeah. They survived it though. They survived it. Yay! Hello, PH Jess. Ow, Ava, honey, those claws. She's got her claws dug so far into my skin, and she's pulling me into her. Honey, please. If you step back here, if you step back here, then the wonderful world will get to see you better. Yeah. See, I even put a blanket down on the floor for her to lay down on so she wouldn't be getting my bed all wet. But do you think that worked? It did not. This is the start of our thunderstorm season. Hello, Mark Ott. Good to see you, honey. Oh my gosh, if I stop petting her for 2 seconds. would be terrible timing. Hello, Spider-Man. That, you do, you love. And I hope you enjoy every morsel. Like on the Avatar, that was the one power they just didn't have. I thought it'd be kind of cool to be a waterbender. That way I could also be a bloodbender. I could make people do whatever I wanted. I never get that in real life. Oh my gosh. And my lighting situation here somehow changed. And I don't like it because it makes my eyes look super dark. There, I think I fixed it. Maybe. I don't know what. The cats step on my remote all the time. They turn stuff off and on. It's crazy. That's where that one belongs. Because if he's not there, he's up on my desk and he's bunting me the whole time. He just walks up and just headbutts me. Take me with. Well, I was kind of hoping I'd see Patrick B tonight because I got the closest thing he's gonna get to a soft sit in Clallam County. He's begged me for one forever, and this isn't a soft sit, but he's soft sit adjacent. And I know I've had this asset on before. Oh, it was a humidity kind of day here too. Absolutely. Which is probably why we got the rainstorm now. It's heading your way. That's because there's a beautiful little tortoiseshell kitty behind there. One that doesn't want to see Earl at all. Yeah, that's Bandit is in the window tonight. Earl wants to play, and Bandit does not. And that beautiful dog right here, that beautiful dog, that lefts and rights and lefts are backwards when you're on stream. That box right there is full of catnip right now. Okay, guys, let's get into it because it's already been a heck of a night, a bunch of delays. Ava's acting like she's got to go potty again, and I don't really want to test it, but I think the rain has taken a little mini break, so I might be able to let her actually go potty instead of, because I'm sure she didn't get to cowering under the deck. All right, let's get into this. Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love it. Ava, stop. Stop, please.
That's your backdrop, right? Your backdrop isn't the best, but guess what? That's your backdrop, right? That's my backdrop right there, right? That's what I present. That's my backdrop, right? So if you want
You may be seated. Thank you. I didn't know if you were ready yet or not. I just keep.
We'll get her going.
Came out of running. Where are we there? Melissa, what do you think? Do we have any private counsel up there? I don't see anybody like that. Well, if we don't have private counsel, we're gonna go alphabetical unless somebody's got something.
Start with the interpreter case?
Oh, yeah, which case is the
That's gonna
interpreter?
be a change of plea, so I don't know if we want to deal with some quicker matters.
Let's deal with some quicker matters first. Let's deal with Dean Annis. Annis, you here?
It's supposed to be a change of plea.
Really? He's not here?
I don't think he's here yet.
Well, never mind.
I did speak with them, that was gonna be amended to an EWS third.
Okay,
I see Mr. Barnes.
let's deal with
I-
Mr.
I
Barnes.
think that's just review of an SOC.
Michael Barnes.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yes, you are. Good. Hang on a second, Mr. Barnes. I think today was a review day, do you?
He was pro se. It looks like this was a review from an SOC back in June of last year.
Is that thing? Oh, there we go. There we go. June of last year. Name, there we go. There we go. Thanks. Viceroy, PC found, etc. Mr. Barnes, how you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Not bad. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the court record here. Defendant present on June 17th. No court fees or whatever were included, just a straight up SOC. Signed by Murphy. I think Murphy was a part of this.
He was the one who originally filed it, but yeah, that was.
Oh, no, there it says Springfield. Signed June 17th by Springfield. Review June 16th, which would be today. And I'm assuming it's going to be a dismissal, but it's been a while since I looked at this. It was a dismissal-ish kind of a case if Mr. Barnes stayed out of trouble. Are you tracking Mr. Paganelli? You know what we're looking at here?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Should I say, sir, I was never in trouble?
Well, no, we're just
Thank you,
discussing
sir.
technicalities. Mr. Barnes, I think you're entitled to a dismissal, but I'm just checking the files here.
If you want to dismiss yourself, sir, that's fine with me.
Right, I think we're headed that direction. Just give me a couple more minutes here.
Will I allow you that?
Yeah. All right. Well, he's had some traffic tickets and he had something else that came up that got dismissed. He's kind of on the edge, but he doesn't have any new crimes, no new criminal stuff.
Did I understand your edge doesn't have my name on it, sir?
What? Now, which part doesn't have your name on it?
Your edge, sir, does not have my name on it, sir.
I got you. Okay. What you thinking there, Mr. Paganelli?
I know, Your Honor, that there was it does appear there was an arrest in August of last year,
Yes, there was.
and that was dismissed. However, it was dismissed due to a finding of lack of competence.
Right. Which is kind of, Mr. Murphy was struggling with that issue on this one, this particular individual.
That was Mr. Murphy's struggle, sir. That was not my own.
No, I know that, Mr. We're not accusing you of anything, Mr. Barnes. It was an issue we had on this case for a little while that Mr. Springfield resolved, I believe, in your
I'm not
favor.
prelude to your understanding being my own.
Right. So, okay. So what I think, Mr. Paganelli, unless you see something different, we had a case that was dismissed for the reasons noted, but I'm prepared to dismiss unless unless you really do think there's a violation, Mr. Paganelli.
State will dismiss because I do notice it is, in Snohomish County does not appear to have anything to do with the cases
Right.
before us. I would note, however, that should Mr. Barnes ever reappear before this court, I will take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And it is highly unlikely that such a generous offer as an SOC would be offered again in such a case.
Oh, I know.
To reappear.
Right. So are you preparing an order?
Excuse me.
Hang on,
If you
Mr. Barnes.
review your paperwork, sir, if you review your paperwork, sir, I have been trying to make your department aware of a rape case out on the reservation by their police officers. And if your preliminary findings aren't understood by that, maybe the findings of the facts that Nia Bay did find out, okay, that these rapes did occur. And the only thing I did is report their department to your officers, and nobody through this
Okay,
whole thing.
Mr. Barnes, hey, Mr. Barnes,
Yeah.
Mr. Barnes, if you
Yes,
hold on
sir.
if you hold on a second, we're gonna dismiss your case. The
You're
paperwork's
dismissing
being,
your case, sir. Sir, you're
Okay.
dismissing your case. I don't have a case.
okay, well, we're gonna dismiss somebody's case with your name on it, so if you hang on a
Yeah, that's
second.
your case, sir. That is not my case.
Mr. Barnes,
I
seriously,
don't bow to your authority, sir.
you may not bow
Understand
to
what
my
I'm telling
authority.
you, sir.
Can you
Excuse
mute
me,
him?
sir.
We're gonna mute you
Understand what
because
I'm telling
you
The
are
authority on that
out of control.
reservation was raping women, sir. Raping women,
Can't mute
sir,
him.
on that
We're gonna try to mute
reservation.
him.
You have done nothing.
I wish I had that capability every time. I should have it.
If that bothers you, sir, it bothers me.
Oh, Mr. Barnes. I just need that order so I can get this pleasant experience out of my space.
Okay, good day, sir.
Now he's muted. It just goes to show you, trying to do the right thing isn't always okay.
That they stay away.
Right.
So there still are issues.
Oh, yes. It does indeed. Thank you, Mr. Paganelli. Does it have both? Yes, both cause numbers? Yes, it does. Today is the 16th of June. How exciting. Okay, well, we're gonna mail this to Mr. Barnes. Hopefully he doesn't have anything else to say. And when you're ready, Ms. Freeman, we're gonna go to Melissa Cox. Is she here? Or is she on there?
Let's see. Yeah, we might want to come back to Ms. Cox. I was going to ask for a continuance.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, this isn't mine.
No, that's not yours. Well, then what we can do,
Well, yeah, actually it's not mine.
Oh,
It's
that's
Mr.
that's right, that's pro se.
It's pro se.
I will, however, take that because I have two cases.
Oh, copies.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. All right, Mr. Barnes, we're gonna mail you that dismissal.
Yeah, so I guess if we could come back to Ms. Cox.
Well, then let's handle the people on Zoom. You wanna try Nicole, Ms. Hanson first? Ms. Hanson, can you hear us?
I believe she is.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
The council.
Should we just receive this via email?
Okay, who else is?
He just ignored him the rest of the time. He said, all right, we'll mail you the dismissal. Never unmuted him, never asked him if he had any questions. He did say, I hope he doesn't have any questions. And then he just kept chugging along. I do love Judge Hannafy. He's one of my favorites. Always has been. And yes, that's absolutely correct. The reservations have their own police force. You know, you have to go through proper channels, just like everything else. But it doesn't seem like this guy knows what proper channels means. Yeah, that's true. I know they get a lot of cases from the reservation, but they're handled differently. So, yeah, yep. They can only handle matters that didn't happen on the reservation, is my understanding. If whatever's happening is happening on the reservation, the judge can't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That could be it too. Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna put this on, and then Ava's got to go out. She's not letting up.
Ready to go, council?
The next matter I have is Marius Shaw.
All right, Marius.
Marius Shaw, I apologize.
Marius? Okay, Marius Shaw.
Marius.
Morning, Mr. Shaw. Got case numbers 4A0350782 and 5A0321623. One of these is in pretrial status. The other one is on for an arraignment. I did review this probable cause. Mr. Lockhart, would you like to be heard on PC?
No, Your Honor, I reviewed that earlier.
All right, court will find probable cause is established on the new case. Are you prepared to go through with arraignment on that, Mr. Lockhart?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I would waive a formal reading of rights, did sign off on those, waive a formal reading of the probable cause, and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Shaw, this time, sir, I'm going to go ahead and waive the formal reading on the new charge. I'm entering a not guilty plea on your behalf. It does preserve your rights and defenses to that charge. Would the city like to address conditions on both cases, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. So on the pending domestic violence cases that have been going on since March of 2024, there's, I think before the court sets bail, should just consider the history. So the defendant was initially PR'd with some standard release conditions. There was some concern about drugs or alcohol usage, particularly drugs, but the court, and I don't disagree with this, couldn't find mentioned in the report, so there was no monitoring that was put in place in that case, even though that was a concern of the victim in the case, the alleged victim. Defendant immediately FTA'd. There was a priority hold bench warrant. The defendant then was arraigned in, or excuse me, was then in custody back in almost a year, well, a little over a year ago. The court ended up setting, the city requested a $1,000 bail. It was pro tem, ended up setting it as a bondable bail, so a very minimal amount. The defendant posted, got out. Then the defendant went back into warrant status. On a priority hold bench warrant status a few months later, in August of last year, that was maintained all the way up until, I think, January of this year. Bail was requested again by the city to be, I think, around $4,000. But again, it was made bondable, so only $400. The defendant posted that. And surprise, surprise, again, didn't show up to his court hearings.
Because I'm homeless, not
We've
because
done
I
this,
need
we've
to
done this
go,
numerous
because I'm
times,
homeless.
and so the city's asking for the court to
You don't know what he's
start
talking
setting
about. Okay.
significant bail. We've requested it twice.
Just sit here and let
Maybe
it lie?
nominal
Mr. Shaw,
amounts.
I will hear from you. Please stop interrupting the city attorney. You will get your opportunity to speak, sir.
And the defendant has posted those amounts and then not appeared for court. So at this point, the city is requesting and renewing its request. I mean, I guess I'm going down because it looks like previously we requested 4,000, 2,000 on each DB case. I'm requesting 2,000 performance bail, 10 times bondable total, so 1,000 on each of the domestic violence cases. I think it's more than appropriate. I would also at this time, given the allegations of the newest charge that the court has found probable cause on, excuse me, ask the pretrial monitoring with your analysis be added to that case. Again, the history is that the city did request it at arraignment, given the input we had from the alleged victim, and understandably the court did not find that necessary at the time, but given the FTAs, numerous bail postings and FTAs plus the newest charge, I do think it would be appropriate at this point. As for the controlled substance violation, the city would just request $500 bondable. A $50 cash alternative is fine with the city. The defendant does have prior history out of state, including a fugitive warrant. He had limited history out of state, although a little bit serious. It looks like there was a Rob 1. I can't tell what the exact disposition of that is. This has all been expressed to the court previously, but I realize that maybe he has limited Washington history, but at this point, given the numerous FTAs, and again, post the bail and then just has not appeared. So I do think the court should start setting bail in much more significant amounts.
Thanks very much, Mr. Anderson, for making that record. Mr. Lockhart, what is defense position here today?
And Your Honor, I can let the court know that Mr. Shaw had said bench warrant quashes on these matters. He has been in good contact with my office. We just had an appointment with him on Friday. We feel that if Mr. Shaw would be given a chance, he would appear at the next court hearing. As he also previously noted, he was homeless for most of those matters, did not have access to phone, wasn't given, unfortunately, notifications because of that. And certainly very limited amounts of income, would not be able to post any amount of bail. Just have the court take that into consideration here. So we'd just be asking for a release, but subject to the pretrial monitoring, if that would help alleviate some of the court's concerns with the allegations of substance use.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shaw, I don't want you to talk about any of the facts alleged here, but if there's something you really want me to know, you certainly may.
It has to do with the facts. I feel like I'm not trying to run or make this any harder. I just haven't been able to get the right information. And because I'm going through like this is my wife that the charges are against, right? And I'm trying to fight them. So I'm kind of like emotionally distraught at the same time. I don't have anybody here but me. It's hard to take care of myself. I have this dog that's been put into my life that's been helping me from committing suicide and keeping my mental stability intact, and I don't know where she is right now. So I would ask that if I can be released, then yes, I'll sign into somewhere. I'll do drug rehab. I'll do UAs. I'll do anything. I'm not trying to run. I'm not trying to get out of the consequence that comes from my actions. I'm just trying to stay in a good headspace that I am, so that moving forward I can be more, responsible on my own terms and not because of miscommunications or, that's,
All right. Mr. Shaw, I appreciate you letting me know where you're coming from, so I think it gives me a little bit of context. Here's where the court's at. I've reviewed really the case history, specifically in regard to the 4A cause number. That's the domestic violence case. And I guess where I'm at is there's been a number of failures to appear, and I understand there's some reasons for it, but, really the court is, I would almost say, bent over backwards to try and give you reasonable, release conditions, reasonable bail, and so far it really hasn't ensured that you would come to court. So I'm inclined to agree with the city attorney at this point. The court's going to go ahead. I'm finding, one, there is clearly a flight risk. There's been numerous failures to appear, numerous bench warrants. Mr. Shaw has, Mr. Anderson, you said there was an out-of-state fugitive matter at one point as well?
Previously, yes, we mentioned there was, I think it's on his Washington Street. You can see it at the bottom.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, it's older, obviously. That just indicated they were out-of-state history. Like I said, it's pretty limited out-of-state history. There was, but there was at one point.
Oh, yeah, I do see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the court makes that finding. I am finding there's been violations of pretrial release conditions in regard to the 4A as well. We obviously have probable cause established on a new charge. I am finding there's a nexus between substance use and the allegations here. I am going to order pretrial supervision. We'll get to all those conditions in a minute. In regard to the bail, I'm granting the city's request. It's going to be on the 4A cause number, $2,000, cash reported per performance bond, 10 times bondable's fine. In regard to the controlled substance charge, $500 bondable, $50 cash alternative would be fine. If the bail or bond is posted, Mr. Shaw, you would need to report immediately to the Whatcom County District Court Probation Department. They're located on the 4th floor of the county courthouse, which is the building directly next to the jail. Conditions: appear timely for all scheduled court hearings, have no new criminal law violations, have no drug or alcohol related infractions, do not use or possess alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, or cannabis, don't enter any establishment whose primary business is the selling or serving of alcohol, beverages, or cannabis.
You need to give me some fun.
And you will be subject to random testing at probation's discretion. Okay, looks like Mr. Shaw is sitting down. I'm going to finish.
Mr. Shaw's still here. He's just taking a seat.
Okay. All right. It looks like, although Mr. Shaw was booked on the 4A, we don't have the warrant back yet. So just for a clerical clarification, I'm going to quash that warrant. Other than that, Mr. Lockhart, does your office already represent Mr. Shaw on the 4A?
I don't believe that we had withdrawn on it. I know there's a number of those matters that we're still waiting on.
All right. Just have to put a screen. I just need to.
Looks like poor connection. I can still see you.
This makes me feel better. I wasn't the only one with technical difficulties tonight.
Okay. Well, we'll give it just a second. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's good if you need
you
to
might
go
need
back.
to just end the call and run it and make Shaw after this and just call back in. Let's finish this real quick though. All right, so I'm finding Mr. Shaw eligible for the public defender. We need to set some new court dates here. So we'll do in custody. It's going to be set on, should be the 30th, I believe, June 30th at 8:30 in the morning. In Meadow Church, what's a good Thursday out of custody? 7/24? Okay, July 24th at 1:30 will be the out of custody date. Sure, we'll strike the bench warrant quash on 8/21. Okay, I'm going to sign off. Mr. Lockhart, I think we're just gonna try ending the call and call right back in and see if that does anything, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be just a second. Let's go ahead and try that, Madam Clerk. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll just keep going. Mr. Lockhart, can you see me still?
I can see you, yes.
Okay, well, unfortunately, just so everyone's aware, we cannot see you in the jail. We'll obviously have to talk to IT, but we're just going to have to keep moving forward at this point. So, all right, who else is ready to go, counsel?
We can call the matter of Scott Hale.
All right,
Scott,
let's go
go on.
ahead and call
That's all right.
Scott Hale.
Get you called up. We got to figure out what's going on.
Cause number 5A0541719. This is on for an arraignment. 2 counts. I did review probable cause here. Mr. Lockhart, would you like to be heard on PC?
I apologize, Your Honor. We haven't seen PC. That wasn't sent over this morning.
Oh, okay. It was in the ones I reviewed. Do you, can you email it to him, Madam Clerk? Do you have that? Let's see if we can just email it to you right now, Mr. Lockhart, unless you want to read it, Mr. Anderson.
I can just read it. By the time you do that, I can.
Okay, I'll just swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
On 6/13/25 at approximately 8:18 hours, officers responded to a physical domestic call at 5860 Pacific Rim Court in Bellingham, Washington. The call notes that the reporting person, a neighbor, could hear a male throwing a female around. Officers responded to the scene. Scott Hale had left the scene. Officers contacted Christine Villa at her apartment. Villa was visibly in distress, crying, and told officers she was glad that they had arrived. Officers observed a plant had fallen to the ground off a table inside the apartment. Dirt and water from the plant were on the ground. Villa informed officers that her and her boyfriend of 7 years, Mr. Hale, had been arguing. Villa wanted him out of the apartment where he is not on the lease and does not receive mail. Villa stated that Hale spit on her, was swinging at her, punching the air, but never hit her. Then he threatened to, quote, beat her ass and stated he wanted to kill her. During the argument, Hale pushed between the two. Villa stated she was afraid of Hale, that he was going to hit her. Witness who lives in the apartment below stated he could hear loud yelling, arguing, and slamming. He stated he could hear a female yelling, "Don't touch me and don't come near me." He stated he could hear the male chasing the female through the house, and then he heard a loud slam, causing him to call 911. Because Hale spit on Villa and then was punching the air in front of her, officers established probable cause to arrest him for assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence because he threatened to violence of beating her and killing her. Based on her fear of Mr. Hale, that he would hit her, potentially causing bodily injury, officers established probable cause for the harassment DV as well.
Okay, would you like to be heard on that, Mr. Lockhart?
No, Your Honor.
Court does find PCs established for both charges. Mr. Hale, good morning, sir. I'm sorry, I don't think I said hello before. We are here for an arraignment today, Mr. Hale, on those 2 charges. Are you prepared to proceed on those at this point, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. I would waive a formal reading of rights, and enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Hale, this time I will waive a formal reading of your rights. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf to both charges here today. That does preserve your rights and defenses in regard to them. Mr. Anderson.
Your Honor, I would point out that the defendant was previously arrested in this court for an assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence with the same alleged victim as in this case, the same victim. That was amended down to disorderly conduct, non-DV. That was from 2021, but it does involve Christine Villa, same person as alleged to be involved in this case. Based on that alone, I know that it looks like there is a couple of cases that went to warrants, really nothing significant. But the city does have some concerns, given the allegations and given that this is the second time the defendant's been now arrested for domestic violence crimes against the same alleged victim. Therefore, the city is requesting not only a no contact order, but we are recommending $500 performance bail be posted by the defendant. City considers that a lower amount, given this is a second offense within a few years, but I do think it's appropriate under the circumstances. I think, trying to see if I had the lethality assessment. No, but sorry, a lot of cases jumbled together as that was a different case. I do not have a lethality assessment in this case, but based on that information, the city is requesting the 500. I don't think there was, at least in my review, if there was anything about, it says unknown AOB and tox, so given that, the city is not requesting pre-trial monitoring by probation.
Thank you very much, counsel. Mr. Lockhart, would defense like to be heard?
And Your Honor, we would just be asking that the court take into consideration here that Mr. Hale has not been employed for over 3 months, does not have an ability to post bail. He was on EBT as well as Apple Health through state benefits. Unfortunately, has not done the renewal for that, so unfortunately is no longer on those benefits currently. There's no prior DV convictions, so we just ask for the PR release, but subject to the no contact order.
Thanks very much. Well, I see the one prior was amended to a non-DV charge. I think what the court's actually more concerned about really are the specific facts in this case. I don't need to go through all of them again, but essentially an event that was so loud and concerning that a downstairs neighbor was the one who called DPD. I think the city's request is probably pretty reasonable at this point. $500 cash and order-proof performance bond, 10 times bondable is fine. Court's going to find, I think there is at this point a risk of a violent offense. I'm not all that concerned about appearance history. Mr. Hale does not have particularly bad warrant history, but I'm more concerned about the safety of the alleged victim here. The court's going to make that finding in regard to a risk of a violent offense. I'm going to go ahead and order that bail as I just said, and then the conditions here will be appear timely for all of your scheduled court hearings, Mr. Hale, have no new criminal law violations, abide by a protective no contact order. I'm going to review that order with you in just a moment. And then as a result of that order, while this case is pending or while that order is in place, you're not going to be able to own, possess, control firearms. You would have to immediately surrender those items to the Bellingham Police Department. So those will be the conditions here today. I am going to find you eligible for the public defender based on what counsel just noted. We will get you an attorney assigned, Mr. Hale. You're always free to hire your own attorney if you wish to. If you have any questions, sir, about any of those conditions?
So I have to post $500 bail to get out today?
$500 would be the cash amount or a $5,000 bond. I'm going to set 2 court dates for you, Mr. Hale. One will be in custody. That'll be June 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That's 2 weeks from today. And if you post the bail or bond, then we'll see you back here on, was 7/24 still good? July 24th at 1:30. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the no contact order. That's the last thing we have here.
Well, considering he is a bum, we probably don't have to worry about the victim's safety for a little while.
This order does protect a party by the name of Christine Villa. It does prohibit you from doing a number of things. Do not cause, attempt, or threaten to cause bodily injury. This includes any type of assault, harass, stalk, or keep under surveillance to protect a person. Just don't have contact with them. It's face-to-face, it's through a third party. It includes electronic and written contact, so texting, phone calls, emails, social media, that stuff's all prohibited with them at this time. Do not knowingly enter, remain, or come within 1,000 feet of the protected person's residence, school, workplace, vehicle, or wherever they may be. Mr. Lockhart, it sounds like we'll need a civil standby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Was that the info
He has
you
an
had,
address
Mr.
on Lummi Island, and he was actually contacted by Lummi Police trying to get on the ferry, so
Okay.
I don't know. Unless he has items there, I guess that's the question.
Okay. Mr. Hale, do you have items that you would need to grab from the protected party's residence?
Doesn't sound like it, Your Honor.
Okay, well then I'm not going to order a civil standby. There we go. Okay, last thing here, sir, as I said, this order does prohibit you from owning, possessing, controlling firearms while it is in place. So while this order remains, you're not allowed to own any firearms or concealed pistol license. It will remain in place until the case is resolved. unless it's modified or rescinded in the meantime. Do you have any questions at all, Mr. Hale, about the terms of the no contact order?
So if I can't post a $500 bail, how long do I have to stay in jail?
Your next court date, if you remain in custody, is set for June 30th. That is 2 weeks from today, sir.
Okay.
Okay? There we go. I've signed off on everything. If you have no further questions, you're good to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Hale. All right. And you know what, Mr. Lockhart, I'm just going to defer to you at this point because I can't see you. So just call cases when you're ready to go, when when no one's at the podium. I'll be ready.
Okay, sounds good. So we can call the 4 cases of Matthew Ruff.
All right, Matthew Ruff, cause numbers 580525122, 580452075, 580487525, and 5801692229. Is Mr. Ruff there with you, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, morning, Mr. Ruff.
Good morning.
We are here following 1077 review. I actually just looked at it this morning because I don't think I saw it last week, but it looks like Mr. Ruff, the finding is that he's not competent to proceed. Does the city wish to be heard on that finding?
So, I object.
Hold on, Mr. Ruff, you can speak in just a second. I'm going to hear from the city attorney first.
No, nothing further.
Okay, Mr. Lockhart, did you have anything to add in regard to the finding?
No, Your Honor, we'd ask to adopt the finding.
Okay, Mr. Ruff, I'm going to go ahead and adopt the finding as well. I did read that report from DSHS this morning. Court finds at this point that you are not competent to proceed.
Well, I object, and I'd like to explain why.
You can certainly object in just a moment. I'm just filling out the order that I have to do.
You know, I thought it was a rare occurrence when we had that first guy that objected to his case being dismissed. And lo and behold, I happened to find two of them that occurred on the same day. Different states. Actually, no. Nope. This is also Washington. Oh, yeah. It's a Washington thing. It must be.
Just a second. My recollection, the boxes aren't checked on this order. I think that it was only the ability to assist in his own defense. Does that sound right to you, Mr. Lockhart?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was. Okay, I think that was my recollection, so I'm going to check that one box. All right, there was a request for a DCR, and the city has a motion on this, Mr. Anderson?
The city is moving to dismiss the charges.
All right. Any objection there, Mr. Lockhart?
No objection to the dismissal, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ralph, I'll give you a brief moment. We have a lot of people on calendar, so we need to keep moving.
Oh, they can wait.
Something you want me to know? Go ahead.
Well, for one, this was an unlawful arrest. I'm glad that it was those charges are dropped, it sounds like.
Yep, they're going to be dismissed.
The reason that I was actually brought here, okay, because they're unlawful to start with. I was given a violation on a trespassing before I had a chance to leave. So I'm glad that was dropped. So there's some competence there on my behalf. And why am I being held? Am I being held on incompetence?
Let me explain that to you, Mr. Ruff. So, first things first, charges are being dismissed without prejudice. So that means, again, the charges are dismissed. The report from DSHS did ask for a DCR.
And what about my unlawful arrest?
Mr. Ruff, let me talk. I'm trying to explain it to you. The reports from DSHS did ask for a DCR evaluation. That's a designated crisis responder to have you talk to one before you're released from custody. So I'm going to go ahead and order that. The sooner they talk to you, the better. But technically, the DCR hold is up to 72 hours, not including weekends or holidays. So that would run on June 19th at 9:50 in the morning, which is 72 hours from now. Now, in regard to any issues with what you would call an unlawful arrest, that's not before the court today, Mr. Ruff. If you want to file some separate civil suit, you can always make that request, but that's not what the court's looking at here today. So,
okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
I've noted your objection for the record, though, as to the finding, so that is noted, that's preserved. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off on the order at this time, sir.
Yeah, my competence is not the issue here.
All right, well, very good. These cases are dismissed, Mr. Ruff. Thank you very much, sir, and good luck to you.
So I am not allowed to leave up to 72 hours
If the
depending on
DCR
when
sees
that
you beforehand,
I'm seen by DCR.
Mr. Ruff, usually the DCR comes same day. So,
All right, thank you.
probably will be today.
All right, I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks very much, sir. All right. I have signed off. Go ahead, Mr. Lockhart.
Okay, the next matter I have, Your Honor, is Joy McGuire.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take Ms. McGuire. Last thing, actually, is Mr. Ruff still in the courtroom?
I just indicate in person on that, Your Honor.
Okay. The reason being, I didn't say the court is finding Mr. Ruff does have a history of one or more prior violent acts. He has multiple assault charges. So I'm sorry I didn't say that on the record, but the city was asking for the firearms order.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to sign off on that. So if Mr. Ruff is still in the courtroom, here's what I'm ordering. Due to the dismissals under RCW 1077-088, the court has found that you have a history of one or more prior violent acts. That's based on a review of your history right now. Multiple prior assault fours. So you would be prohibited only possessing controlling firearms, and you must immediately surrender any firearms, concealed pistol license.
Hold on.
To the Bellingham Police Department. So I'm signing off on that.
I'd like to. What are my violent offenses?
You have multiple prior assault in the 4th degrees that I'm looking at here, Mr. Ruff.
No, that was dropped.
Due to findings of
That was dropped. I was found innocent.
You were okay. We're not.
And actually, I wanted to. Listen. I was attacked. I was attacked by 4 people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to note Mr. Ruff's objection for the record once again. I understand he does not agree with this, and that is completely his right. I am noting your objection, Mr. Ruff. A review of your history shows you've had multiple charges dismissed due to findings of incompetency on assault in the 4th degree. That would be, to this court, prior violent acts.
And there is absolutely no reason why you need a firearm, sir. I am extremely pro the Second Amendment. But if you have been found incompetent for standing trial that many times for your violent acts, and those violent acts had to be dismissed because you were unable to be restored to competency, then you don't need a firearm.
Going to go ahead. I'm making the finding, and I'm entering the firearms order. So, with that, let's move on. We're going to go ahead and call Ms. McGuire. We've got 3 cause numbers of Joy McGuire: 5A0440751, 3A0547406.
And how long is this held for?
Mr. Ruff, if
This
you
is
keep
until 3 days?
Mr. Ruff, if you keep interrupting the court, we will start contempt proceedings. I'm not going to be interrupted anymore. If the jail wouldn't mind getting Mr. Ruff out of the courtroom sooner than later, I would appreciate it. Let's go ahead and call Ms. Joy McGuire. Last cause number 4A0579733. These are all on for sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. McGuire. How are you, ma'am?
Good morning. It's good to see you, Your Honor. Thank you for having me today.
Good. I'm sorry I can't see you, ma'am. Our screen is blank on my end. We're having some technical difficulties, but I'm glad you're here this morning. I think we're ready to go. This was set over for sentencing. Is the city ready, Mr. Anderson? All right. Anything else ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Call the matter of Julius Haywood.
Okay, Julius Haywood, cause number 5A0561561. This is on for an arraignment. Just need to double check. I think this is one. Did I see PC for this today?
Oh.
My jabs is going a little slow here. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I did review this one. Mr. Lockhart, would you like to be heard on PC?
Employment and that.
Okay. All right, and Your Honor, we did go over rights. Sounds like we signed off on those. We would ask to waive a formal reading of the probable cause and enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Haywood's behalf.
Thank you very much. Mr. Haywood, good morning, sir.
What's up?
All right, I'm going to go ahead. I am finding PCs established on both counts. With that, I'll waive any further reading. I'm entering not guilty pleas on your behalf, Mr. Haywood, to both. Would the city like to be heard, Mr. Anderson?
Well, yes, Your Honor. Although it appears the defendant has no Washington history, the defendant's NCIC did come back with some significant history out of state. It looks like potentially a couple of states going up until 2022. I think
Clarify that for me.
California,
Tell them I got it.
and looks like West Virginia as well. And I'm extensive amount of history, at least. We're at, what is that? I don't even know. 10, 12 pages of history. Yeah, so I don't know what his ties are to our community. The city is requesting, this is assault 4 DV and an assault 4, I believe. So the city would request an anti-harassment order on the assault case, or would request a domestic violence no contact order on the DV case. As far as bail, again, not knowing what his ties to our community are, but can tell you that there's quite a bit of history out of state going all the way back to the 90s. The city would request some appearance bail. I'd recommend $1,000 at this point, appearance bail or bond, $100 cash alternative, just to ensure the defendant's appearance, just because there is such extensive out-of-state history and then lack of history in the state. I don't know how long he's been here.
Okay, thanks very much. Is the history out of state, none of it appears to be assaultive?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. There's a lot, but at the same time, it's difficult to represent full convictions because you got to really pour through. But I mean, I'm just reading through. There's in California, there are numerous bench warrants, refers to appear, contempt of court.
Okay.
Those are all parole violations. Looks like DOC was involved. Looks like there's narcotic transportation sale of narcotics, gang activity out of Long Beach.
Okay.
Transportation selling narcotics, yeah, DOC violations, parole violations, possession of drugs, disorderly conduct.
Okay,
What I can
sounds
tell.
like quite a bit there. Okay, Mr. Lockhart, city's request, $1,000 bond, $100 cash alternative, it sounds like. Would defense like to be heard on that?
Yes, Your Honor. We would be asking for the PR release subject to the no contact orders. Mr. Haywood let me know that he's been in Washington State since 2015. He does not receive any state benefits at this time, but that he's certainly been in the area for quite a bit. And certainly, as Jabs would know, there's been no recent history here. So we're just asking the court for that release. We would also ask to be appointed just based on the statements made. And that way we can move forward with these allegations. Thank you.
It does appear he still uses a California driver's license, which is good until 2028. There is no Washington driving record.
Tell them they took my Washington. I got
That's what I was wondering. I don't see anything
Yeah,
in
and
ADR.
the license he used and gave the officers was California and is good until 2028. And there's no Washington driving record.
Okay. Well, the city's request, I think, here is actually exceptionally reasonable. $1,000 bond, $100 cash alternative. I understand, Mr. Haywood, you have no Washington State history. That being said, you don't have a Washington State driver's license. You have criminal history in multiple different states around the country.
I do got a Washington. I got a Washington ID. They took it from me though. Took my car in there.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, sir, is I'm not particularly confident you have ties to the community. And I am somewhat concerned about the specific facts here. At this point, I'm just going to make the finding. I think there is some risk of flight. There is a risk that Mr. Haywood would not appear for court based on that representation of the city attorney.
Tell them it's where I live. I'm here.
So $1,000
Yeah,
bond.
been here 2000.
$100 cash alternative is fine, Mr. Haywood. That's simply to assure your appearance in court. Other than that, the court's going to enter no contact orders. One is a DV no contact order. The other is an anti-harassment order. I'm going to review those with you. The conditions will be as follows: appear timely for court, have no new criminal law violations, abide by those anti-harassment and no contact orders, and based A, on what looks like previous criminal history, but B, based on these orders specifically, you're not going to be allowed to own, possess, control firearms while the orders are in place. So those are going to be the conditions. Mr. Lockhart, you did believe that Mr. Haywood would qualify for counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to find you eligible for the public defender, sir. We'll get you an attorney assigned. You're always free to hire your own attorney if you wish, but you're not required to. We're going to set 2 court dates. One will be in custody, one will be out. The in custody date would be 2 weeks from today. That's Monday, June 30th at 8:30 in the morning. And the out of custody, is there any room left on 724? 7:31? Okay, July 31st at 1:30 in the afternoon would be that out of custody date.
This court case thing.
All right, I'm just pulling up those two contact orders. Bear with me for just a moment, Mr. Haywood. The first one here looks like it protects a party by the name of Monica Zacharias. It does prohibit you from doing a number of things. It says do not cause, attempt, or threaten to cause bodily injury, including any type of assault, harass, stalk, or keep under surveillance to protect a person. Simply have no contact with them. It's face-to-face through a third party. It does include electronic and written contacts, so texting, phone calls, emails, social media are all prohibited with them at this time. Do not knowingly enter, remain, or come within 1,000 feet of the protected person's residence, school, workplace person, or wherever they may be. This order does indicate you're not to own, possess, or control a firearm, concealed pistol license until or while this order is in place. You would have to immediately surrender any of those items to the Bellingham Police Department. It is a pretrial order, Mr. Haywood, so it's going to remain in place until the case is resolved, unless it is modified or rescinded in the meantime. Do you have any questions at all, sir, about the terms of that no contact order?
I'm all right with that. I'm wondering about my release today, or when do I get released? I'm cool with the restraining order, the no content, all that.
Okay.
That's nothing.
So I've entered the no contact order, Mr. Haywood. Court ordered $1,000 bond or $100 cash alternative. So you'd either need to post the bond, or if you'd rather just post a cash amount, $100 would be fine as well. That's the court's order, and the court's based that again on ties to the community and risk of flight, given your overall criminal history in numerous states around the country.
Can I go get to?
So you can call a bondsman from within custody. The jail has all the information. Second no contact order here, sir, just has a different protected party. It protects Adana Pio or Pio. Same exact terms as the one I just read to you. It just has a different name on it. Are you comfortable with those terms, sir?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with whatever you do, man.
Your Honor, we would be asking for a civil standby on this matter. It sounds like Mr. Haywood has all of his belongings at the shared residence.
Okay. City have any objection to that?
The only way I can give him money if I be released. I don't got no money. Nobody else got nothing action at my money or nothing to give. Nobody shit. I could get.
You don't.
So is that to correct, get the correct, address here. Is that 2148 U Street? Because it's showing the victim having a general delivery.
Mr. Haywood, are you saying at the U Street address, that's where your
That's my address.
That's what I'm asking.
2148.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my address. But
I don't have an address for her. I only have general delivery, so I can't put in an address for civil standby if she doesn't.
I got an address.
Yeah, well, you don't need a civil standby to return to your own property, Mr. Haywood, if they're not a resident there. So, okay. All right, well, I think
That's my address.
Yeah, that's good then. We don't need to enter a civil standby then. So I've signed off on everything. It is ready for signature, Mr. Lockhart, on the protection orders. And otherwise, I think we've covered it all. So, Mr. Haywood, thank you again for your time, sir. I do appreciate it. And we will see you either on June 30th, if you don't post the bail or bond, or July 31st if you do.
When the city prepares the orders, if their addresses don't match up, that's why I don't put it in a civil standby check.
Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not in it, it means their addresses were different. So.
Okay, Mr. Lockhart, is anyone else ready to go?
Hey, Judge. Yeah, I'm asking because you don't seem like to know what to do, man. Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you at?
What's going on?
I wanted to ask you, man, since you're going to get your $100, I got a permanent address out here. Why would I have to set up in here for 2 weeks? What is it about?
Sir, it's based
At
on
first,
your
when
overall...
I didn't, hold up. When I didn't have an address, it was going to be a 2-week term. I got an address right there for you. It's on my ID and all.
Mr. Haywood, so
yeah.
I need to make it completely clear here. The city attorney read, I would say, a lot of criminal history into the record. The court is very concerned about that criminal history, Mr. Haywood. I think at this point, it's crystal clear that you have criminal history in numerous states. There's warrants in numerous states. You have bad appearance history. Court is making that finding, and that is exactly why the court ordered the bail. $1,000 bond, $100 cash alternative. I understand you don't agree with it. That is completely fine. I'll note your objection to the record. That is the basis for it, and I feel comfortable with it. So that's the order I've entered.
Well, I'll stay as long as you want me here. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I'm done with that. I'm just saying.
All right,
I'm done
thanks,
with that, man. Yeah. Fuck. 2 weeks ain't shit. I done did 34 years. 2 weeks ain't shit,
Thank
man.
you, Mr. Haywood.
I just look like this.
Okay. So you're sports.
I'm ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were. Yep.
Okay. Anything else ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor. We can call the matter of Daryl Ballweber.
Daryl Ballweber, number of cases here, 5A0419-282, 5A0385-182, 5A0188-907, 5A056-0421, 5A056-0420, 4A07-80705, and 5A039-6017. Mr. Ballweber, good morning, sir.
So to be clear, the defendant was not booked on 420-421.
Okay.
Those are tickets I pushed through this morning, just seeing his name, but they're not technically booked on those.
Are you asking not
I think
to
we
address
should,
them
and
today?
I don't know that you probably have PC, I don't know if PC was sent or not, so I can read it.
That was going to be my question. Is I did review a PC from Mr. Ballweber, but I don't.
Yeah, it's similar.
I don't actually know which case it was on because.
So that would have been 282 we sent forward, which.
Oh, there it
is
is.
the obstructing and violation of an anti-harassment order that occurred outside the library.
Yeah. Okay. I think it just wasn't on the calendar when I looked at it because I didn't see any obstructing. But I see it now. So that's the one I looked at. Mr. Lockhart, on that one, did you wish to be heard on PC at all?
So I think I got the same PC as earlier. Let me just see if I've got, if there's anything else. Not on the PC that was already submitted. I'll say that.
On that one, I will find PC for both charges. On the 017, PC was already found. That was a warrant return. So yeah, Mr. Anderson, do you just want to read on the four?
I'll try. I mean, they're all kind of similar. This is all of these are from the same library-ish incident. So the other violation of anti-harassment order is ending in 421. On 6/9/25 at 20:53 hours, contacted Jillian Hobbs and Kiana Hobbs in the 300 block of North Commercial Street. I was investigating a disorderly conduct report location where a male was reportedly menacing multiple people in the area with a stick. Disorderly subjects no longer on scene. Multiple homeless people in the area told me the male that they know as DJ was in the area trying to pick fights and yelling at a female who was later identified as Kiana Hobbs. Spoke to Ms. Hobbs and her mother, Julian Hobbs. Both of them denied being assaulted by the male on scene, but they both identified the man as threatening people in the area as Daryl Ballweber. Jillian Hobbs further told me that there is a no contact order which prohibits Mr. Ballweber from being within 1,000 feet of her or contacting her in any way, and he was yelling both at her and Ms. Hobbs during this incident. Ms. Hobbs described Mr. Ballweber as wearing dark clothes and riding a BMX-style bicycle. Whatcom County Superior Court order listed number here prohibits Mr. Ballweber from contacting Jillian Hobbs or coming within 1,000 feet. Based on the fact that Jillian Hobbs reported Mr. Ballweber confronted her while she was with her daughter in violation of a contact order, which was valid and in effect at the time. I saw Mr. Ballweber a short distance away, a few minutes, I think he meant later, it says a few minutes away, a few minutes later. Probable cause was established to arrest Mr. Ballweber for violation of that no contact order. And then on 420, this is the assault for and another violation of the order. It's a little more complicated. 6/10/25 at approximately 18:03 hours, contacted Jillian Hobbs and Kiana Hobbs at First Baptist Church, 110 Flora Street, after a social worker on scene called 911 on their behalf to report a series of order violations and an assault from the day prior. Kiana Hobbs and her mother, Jillian Hobbs, told me the following. Kiana Hobbs was in a dating relationship previously with Daryl Ballweber that had been abusive for the entirety of their relationship. She said that Mr. Ballweber had attacked her mother, Julian Hobbs, a few months prior, which resulted in a no contact order being put in place by Superior Court. Throughout much of the day on 6/9, starting early in the morning, Mr. Ballweber was extremely agitated and aggressive towards Kiana and Julian Hobbs. Mr. Ballweber assaulted Julian Hobbs early in the morning when she attempted to take Kiana Hobbs to a methadone clinic and accidentally woke Mr. Ballweber up in his tent. Later in the day, there was another incident where Mr. Ballweber violated the no contact order with Julian Hobbs when he was arguing with Kiana Hobbs. Julian attempted to intervene. Julian Hobbs told me that at one point during the night of June 9th, Mr. Ballweber shoved Kiana Hobbs hard enough to move her backwards. He did this after pushing his bicycle into Kiana multiple times and screaming in her face. Kiana seemed afraid to elaborate on what else had happened and was seemed afraid to disclose any other details. Both Kiana Hobbs and Julian Hobbs described Daryl Ballweber shoving Kiana Hobbs. Kiana Hobbs did not have any bruises or marks from being shoved, but the account was credible and consistent with the behavior described. Mr. Ballweber probable cause was developed for assault in the fourth-degree domestic violence, and because he had also been around Julian Hobbs in violation of the Superior Court no contact order, probable cause was developed for a violation of an anti-harassment.
Thank you very much. Any comment on either of those, Mr. Lockhart?
No, Your Honor.
Court will find
I'd like to ask
PC
a question.
is now established on all of the new arraignment cases. With that, so we have the 282, 421, 420, and 017 all on for arraignment. Before we formally go through that, Mr. Lockhart, it looks like there's a motion to amend Mr. Ballweber's date of birth on just the 282 cause number. Do you have any objection there?
I get in trouble.
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to sign off on that, and whenever you can sign off on it, Mr. Lockhart, please do. Are you otherwise prepared on all of the arraignments?
And Your Honor, at this time, we're just asking the court to take into consideration Mr. Ballweber's inability to post any amount of bail. He is currently homeless, and that we're just asking to be appointed on these matters. I do believe it's going to be a conflict referral off from our office, but we are just asking the court to take all of that into consideration here.
All right, and you are formally, entering not guilty pleas, waiving the formal reading of rights and all that?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ballweber, I'll go ahead. PC's now been established on all of these. I'll waive any further formal reading based on counsel's request. I'm entering not guilty pleas on all of the arraignment cases. The rest of them are already in pretrial status. And I guess let's just address conditions on all of them, Mr. Anderson.
Well, in all the trespass cases, I would just ask the bail be maintained in bondable amounts. It looks like that's 907, 182, and 017. Those three cases just ask for bail to be maintained in the bondable there. The defendant had a prior violation of anti-harassment order with the same protected party. So this is now 4 pending. The oldest one, which is 705, the court had previously, after an FTA, set bail at $250 back in March when the defendant was, looks like when the defendant was in custody. I'm assuming he must have posted that because it looked like he bailed and then failed to show up to a to a subsequent pretrial hearing out of custody. So that would be problematic if it was only just that, but it's obviously now 3 more pending violations of the no contact order plus an assault for DV. Honestly, the court can just, the city's asking for bail on all these charges. I'd also have them ask the court to go ahead and book on 420 and 421. Those currently were not on the booking sheet. As I stated, I don't think PC wasn't served at the time since he had left the scene. The city would ask for a no contact order on that assault for DV case. The DV no contact order, I did load that up. As far as bail amounts, on the assault for DV plus the VNCOs, the defendant has obviously shown a propensity not to follow court orders since he's got that pending case out of Superior Court and now has 4 violations of that order.
Say it with me. Remand.
Court previously said at $250 cash. He posted that, then didn't appear, picked up more violations. I think you just have to go upwards from there. So the city, I don't even know what to say here, like $1,000 cash on each of the violation of contact orders, $500 cash on the assault for DV. I really don't know. Frankly, any number could probably be justified. This is not a good situation Mr. Ballweber has found himself in. I was going to check and see if he had been any other charges. I think there was other jurisdictions. Yeah, there's a Superior Court hold as well on assault for. So we're not, and a violation of contact order.
So those 2 in Superior Court are wholly separate from the A4 protection order violation here?
Different case number.
Looks like it. Okay.
That says 33579. This is 33580.
Okay.
So yeah, they look like they're from a different event. So I didn't even consider that in the recommendation, but I think the court has to consider all of that. Bail and significant bail, I think at least on the violations, no contact order, given that picture and the assault 4DV.
Okay, thanks very much. Mr. Lockhart, would defense like to be heard?
And Your Honor, again, just take into consideration his ability to post bail. Mr. Ballweber's been a member of our community. You know, I don't believe that.
97.
Since 97, thank you. You know, I don't think the issues are that in this regard. I think it's mainly just his ability to post bail. So we're just asking the court to take that into consideration here.
Okay. Well, I am looking at your overall criminal history, Mr. Ballweber. A lot of it's older. I will grant you that. There is quite a lot there.
Yes, sir. It's really old, and
We've got the,
I mean,
the more
the
recent
PR
stuff,
that deal and make the court date, no problem.
the more recent stuff we have. Well, Mr. Ballweber, here's the issue for me. I'm not actually as concerned about appearance history. I mean, there is a history of warrants, so I think the court can validly make the finding that there is some risk of flight. You actually have an active warrant right now out of South Pacific District Court on a domestic violence charge.
Oh yeah, it's
But
yeah, it's really old too.
to be clear, that's not really the court's major concern. The court's major concern here is that allegedly you keep violating the order. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 violations. We have.
Yes,
Sir,
the
you don't want to
understanding
talk
that
about
I
the
was,
violations. You don't want to talk about that. You're being recorded.
well, they came to me, and I didn't go to them. That's the problem.
You really don't want to talk about them, sir. What I'm telling you is you have 4 violations pending here. You have charges in Superior Court. Court's finding there is clearly a risk of Mr. Ballweber interfering with administration of justice. The court order does not seem to be being followed. And based on the history I see here, the court would also find there is a risk of a violent offense being committed. So the city's request is granted. I'm going to go through it one by one. On the criminal trespasses, it's all $1,000 bondable, $100 cash alternative on all 3. So that would be a $3,000 bond, $300 cash. On the protection order violations and the A4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charges, $1,000 cash recorded per performance bond on each of them, 10 times bondable is fine. And then on the obstruction, that's connected to the one of the protection order violations. I'll just set that at $250 cash or 10 times bondable. So that's going to be the court's order. I do think substantial bail at this point, given the repeated, repetitive violations here, is entirely appropriate. So that will be the court's order. Mr. Anderson, you were not requesting any sort of pretrial supervision in these cases?
I don't think there was anything mentioned in any of the reports that I read that would justify it at this point.
I think I would agree with you. Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
How much bail about to come up with?
Mr. Lockhart, is your office, you said these are going to be conflict cases for you?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to be just a minute. I have to, because there's so many cause numbers, I'm going to need to kind of sort this out. Okay. So, Mr. Ballweber, otherwise the conditions, your timing for court, don't pick up any new criminal law violations. I think first and foremost, abide by all protective, no contact or anti-harassment orders. Is the city requesting any additional orders be entered today, Mr. Anderson?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. So abide by all active orders. It looks like there is an active order out of Superior Court. That's the only one that I currently see. And I guess that's actually everything as far as the conditions go. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this. We're going to set 2 court dates for you, Mr. Ballweber. One will be in custody. That's June 30th at 8:30. That is a Monday morning, 2 weeks from today. And then, Madam Clerk, one of these is DV, so July 31. July 31st at 1:30 p.m. will be the out-of-custody date. Actually, there is a no-contact order uploaded here, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, well, no, there should just be a no contact order on the assault 4DV.
Okay, just that one.
Yeah, just that one.
Okay.
Yeah, the city
Sorry.
requested that.
Okay.
So I thought you meant that there were orders besides that one, yeah.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Ballweber, I do
Your
have
Honor,
one.
Mr. He has left the courtroom. We just asked to enter the no contact order.
All right, well, it's the DV, so I can enter it without him present. I'm going to. And the next time I see Mr. Ballweber, I'll make sure to go over it with him in person, but it'll be entered here today. All right, here we go.
And I am sure there will be a next time. It sounds like it. Certainly sounds like it. Mr. Ballweber does not sound like a nice person. No. Well, you guys, that's what I found for tonight. Oh, that was fun though. I wish the camera had not gone out at the jail. I really do. That it was a night of personalities that I wished we would have gotten to see on full display. Especially when they were, losing their minds. Oh, I love you, Nana Laura. You're welcome. What? I don't even know why that's funny. I don't know. Oh, I don't even know why. I don't know why that was funny. That made me laugh though. So thanks. Oh, yeah. That's why. Right there. Right there. It's late and I'm like running on like 2.5 hours of sleep. So I mean, at least I'm actually awake at the end of the stream tonight. I mean, last night, oh man, I was falling asleep so bad. And then, someone made a comment about truck drivers when we were talking about the landscaping jobs being done for cash. Like it was the tax evasion thing we were talking about. And someone put up a comment about truck drivers, and I was so asleep and so out of it that I was like, yep, landscapers and truck drivers. Yep, those are the number one jobs that they pay cash under the table for. And I saw that today and I'm like, what? What came out of my mouth? I was so tired. I was probably sleeping halfway through Hamilton. Oh my gosh. How embarrassing. Dunkashay. I know that one. Well, yeah, that's cash under the table, quite literally. Okay, so if Donkey Shine is Dunkashay, Gracias would be Gracias. Gracias. I see what you're doing there. I see you, Mortimer Duke. Gracias. Dunkashay. All right, I see what you're doing now. Yep. You're mad gabbing me. How do you make April laugh today? Or no. That's not how it goes. It's how do you make April laugh tomorrow? You tell her a joke today. That's how it is. I did figure out your Father's Day joke though. Our feet are stained. Either we've moved on and you're talking about wine, or it's a language I don't know. Our feet are stained. Oh! I did not know how to say it in German. Thank you. Yes, I did not know that one. Thank you. All right, guys. On that French kiss. Merci. All right, I'm going to go. It's been so much fun. I don't think I have seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one. My Fair Lady's my favorite though. Said hey. Y'all are messing with my brain. It's broken already. I told you the kind of night I had. My brain's already busted. Look what you're doing to it. I love you too. I'm going to go get tomorrow's Wordle in. I used to play Wordle all the time, every day. I was on like this insane streak. And then I think it was when my dad got sick and I started staying the weekends with him, then I missed one. And once you break your streak, it's kind of like, okay, no big deal. I'm just not going to pick it back up. Once you break the streak, it just loses its luster of playing. But Mortimer Duke's got me on a new streak. I'm 1 for 1. The lightning's off in the distance here, but we're still getting the storms a bit. All right, guys. Thank you